All right. Good evening, everybody. Um, Not gonna wait too long for people to show up tonight because starting pretty kind of late. Well, later than usual. Not really late, but slightly late. So yeah, I think I'll wait maybe like 3-5 minutes for people to show up. Then we'll get started. The gods let her die, then fuck the gods. Guess we'll find out pretty soon here. All right. Let's get started. All right. You embark the next morning for Mendodia. You have no way of knowing where it truly is, only that it lies beyond the forgotten sea. But as you did when you first set forth from your village, you must trust your destiny above all. The waters you cross seem to carry you along more quickly, or perhaps it is only a trick of your memory. You cannot be sure, for you have stopped keeping count of the days. You are far too preoccupied thinking of Norala, whose love I would be, without whose love I would be lost. Look, Kiana calls from the stern. Look, Lucaris. You break from your thoughts and peer over the side of the boat, only to find a man in the water. He is thrashing about as though he has been dropped from the very sky. A wiry thing, with eyes wide from panic, wearing a threadbare tunic. Help, he cries. Please help. It is strange indeed that someone should be lost at sea without another boat in sight, and yet the man is clearly imperiled. You and Kiana together pull him onto the vessel. You see that his tunic is the kind that peasants wear, the fabric coarse and leathery. He coughs up water, clears his throat, and speaks. I'm so happy you brought me aboard, Lucaris. How does he know my name? What? Did you know my name? The visitor smiles sadly, the same way the other gods learned it. Champion, from the oracle. Who are you? You ask. The man wipes his hair down nervously. I fear that when you learn my name, you will be angry. You may even do something rash, and you must not, Lycoris. For I am the only one who would dare reveal the things I will tell you today. If you send me away, you will never know the truth. Who are you? You demand. Surely by now you have guessed. I am Lycoris. Draw my sword and kill him. Demand to know what he is doing here. Throw him overboard. You think one? Yeah, no, we're not actually going to be able to kill him, but... Yeah, let's do it. Fuck it. I do not care if a god may not be killed. I will cut this one to pieces. Lycoris shakes his head and whispers urgently. You must lower your voice, Lycoris, and put the sword away, please. My siblings are watching. They must not guess who I am. And why should I wish to preserve your secret? Because if the other gods recognize me, they will attack, and you will never know what I came here to tell you. Oh no, I kind of don't want him to tell me anything because it's just gonna change my destiny and all that crap, and uh, speak quickly, fiend. I do not wish to hear your lies. Tell me more. I do not wish to hear your lies. They are not lies. They are truths the other gods think unfit for human ears. My siblings fear you, champion. Never forget that. And I may be the only god who can truly say that he does not. Lycoris seems truly concerned for you as well as for himself. But perhaps he is merely playing the part of a desperate mortal for the benefit of his observers. First, we must settle something between us. You see, Lycoris, I realize that you likely think I am your enemy. In fact, my enemy has always been fate itself, and the weavers who create it. Do you understand? The end of destiny is what I hope to achieve by disrupting your path. Am I to be comforted by the fact that you would think nothing of taking my life to achieve this? Was the death of my father part of your plan too? How would killing me end my destiny? Or end destiny? Why would we want to rid ourselves of destiny? Hmm. Hmm. I'm tempted to go with number 4. Then again, I do kind of want to confront him about making me kill my father. Hmm. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna do number 2. You feed your rage with lies, champion. You know that I had no designs on his life. Indeed, the one who dealt the killing blow against your father was yourself. Yet even you are not to blame for that crime. It was the work of the weavers who guided your hand to kill him, hoping it would protect your path. Can you now see why Agasa would be better off without them? Why I must build a world where the weavers are no more? But I cannot bring it into being alone. The weavers have proven too powerful for me, and so I am appealing to you, champion. Deny your destiny. Turn away from your path. Do so, and you will release the world from the power of the weavers, and the mortals will be free again. Free again, you ask? What do you mean by that? Lycoris smiles bitterly. I'm disappointed in you, Lycoris. Do you not realize what sets your people apart from the mortals of the first age? Why those mortals were so powerful, while those of your time are so weak? Because in the first age, you recite, the gods were new to their own creation, and in their ignorance they granted mortals the gift of magic. Nonsense, Dagor sparks. Any being with craft can harness the magic in this world and wield it to his own ends. The magic of Agasa is all around you now, just waiting to be discovered. The god's words make no sense. Then why is it that the mortals of my time do not use it, you ask? Because you are destined to remain ignorant of that magic. Indeed, that is the reason that your predecessors grew so powerful, for in the first age there was no destiny at all. Hello, Labarden. I'll call him a liar again, I think. That is a lie. Can it be so hard for you to believe that the world you know now has not always been so? I tell you that destiny is barely 6 centuries old, and that it was built for one simple purpose, to prevent mortals from realizing their true power. But how could the gods make destiny? How can something so vast have been built? It began after the Great Flood, Digoras explains. As he speaks, his mortal disguise begins to slip. His beard begins to change into a tangle of noxious vines. His feet begin to turn into knotted roots. The gods had created their new race of mortals to replace the ones they destroyed, but they wanted to secure the obedience of their new children, and so they crafted new gods, gods designed to devote their very existence to mortals, to shepherd you ceaselessly and devise every moment of your lives, through to your deaths before you were even born. They called them the Weavers, the authors of fate, who were themselves authored by the gods. But the Weavers have always existed. Gods cannot simply be built. Tell me more. Gods cannot simply be built. That is a lie, Digoras insists. By now he has a thick, curling horns on his head and moss where the skin of his legs used to be. There can be no mistaking him for human, yet his voice is still reasonable, even pained. I was there when the weavers were made, champion. Sephiel conceived their shapes, Hetexa built their bodies in her foundry, Atesia gave them souls and craft. The weavers have worked tirelessly ever since, devising the futures of mortals, and in so doing, creating a world of perfect order, where even chaos is scheduled according to the movement of Legellus's sun. I was against it, of course, but I am not like my siblings. I do not need the world to bow before reason. What I need from Agasa flows naturally from its very being. Chaos, that is my dominion, arises from every moment of time, even from time itself, or it did once, before destiny reigned supreme. See nothing wrong with destiny if it prevents mortals from becoming as corrupt as Cybos and Sarpeda. Kinda like that one. I would be nothing without this destiny that the Weavers have crafted for me. You are saying that the only destiny has truly eliminated is chaos. If what you say is true, then I wish to help you. Yeah, I'll go with number 1. But imagine, champion, a world with no future beyond the one that you have made yourself. Imagine a life filled with choices of your own, choices that do not depend upon the permission of the Weavers. That is what I am offering you, what I am offering both of us. You need only turn this boat back to Kelenos. Digoras' disguise has faded entirely now. His face is a tangle of veiny leaves. The horns on his head are thick and rigid. Even his hooves have searching roots worming their way into the planks of the boat. There is but one vestige remaining from the first age. It lies in fabled Menodia. I can't. I don't know why I have such trouble saying Menodia. It's such a weird word. Waiting for you to destroy it. Yet turn this boat around now, and that vestige will remain unharmed, and your prophecy unfulfilled. The weavers will die one by one until all mortals are truly free again, as they were in the first age. Digoras has given me compelling reasons to mistrust the gods. Perhaps I should do as he says. I am unconvinced by the reasoning of the blasphemous creature that stands before me. I find the prospect of living without destiny very attractive. Having encountered 2 survivors of the first age, I am convinced the gods did wrong by destroying them. You want 2? I'm thinking 4 sounds better. Yeah, I think I'll go with 4. And you know that Digoras clearly hopes to feed on the chaos that would come from the demise of destiny. I cannot abandon Kelenos in its hour of need. My beloved Norala will perish if I follow Digoras' bidding. Yeah. Norala will die if you do not meet with the healers of Menodia, and so, even if you were to question the wisdom of the gods, you would certainly never do as Digoras suggests. But you need not tell him this, for he can read it all on your face. You watch his eyes narrow at the revelation that you will refuse to help him. You are but a toy, he says, a machine devised by yet another machine, and that is just what Agasa has become. It is not the world I knew in the first age. You do not know this word, machine, but from the way Digoras says it, you can surmise its meaning, something that will only do what it has been made to do. Digoras raises his arm, lightning circles his fingers. He is poised to strike you down. Ooh, shit. Then a terrible voice comes from the sky, like 1,000 storms speaking at once. Enough! And with that, Digoras is pulled into the air, as though by an invisible hand. The sky erupts in blue and purple light, and great silhouettes wrestle from within the clouds. An unearthly silence descends, and the shadows disappear. One by one, the gods of Arcadis appear in the water surrounding your ship, each standing as tall as pillars. Zephiel, Hytesia, Hisonis, Nidon, Hitexa, Marina. They glow like the sun at dawn. Digoras is our prisoner now, reveals the goddess of war. Legelis will hold him in the sky for as long as he can keep him there. Did Digoras speak the truth, you ask, about the meaning of destiny? He did, Hitexa explains. But you must understand, champion, destiny exists for your protection as well as ours. If the mortals were to again harness all the power of Agasa, the chaos of the first age would return. Consider this in light of Digoras' revelations and decide that destiny is merely an expression of the gods' wish to protect us. The gods are fearful creatures who only wish to control us. Destiny is a necessary evil to maintain order in a chaotic world. The gods are every bit as corrupt as the mortals of the first age. I don't know. I don't know. One or 3, I'm thinking. I'm not sure which though. Yeah, 3 is fairly neutral, that's true. Alright, we'll go with 3. Will you tell them as much? No, I see no reason to flatter the powerful. Yes, the gods deserve to know that I support them. No, let my loyalty express itself in my actions. Go with that. Hetexa and Atesia, the goddess of love, bring their hands together. Before they can touch, a silken cord appears between them. They offer it to you. Accept this token from us, Hetexa says, for your loyalty to the path of valor. It will endow you with powers that may be of use to you in Mendodia. The gifts of both charm and command. Gosh, they keep trying to give me shit. No, no, no. I don't need those things. Agreeing to this just means that I feel like I need them to succeed in achieving my goals, and I don't. We don't need to charm people with magic to get laid. Nintendo, maybe you need that, but Licorice doesn't. Very well, she says, and the cord disappears. There's a rumble of distant thunder. We can tarry here no more. Your destiny is taking hold. Keep your wits about you, champion. The last vestige of the First Age awaits you in Mendodia. Another mortal of the First Age? A fragment of the First Age, that much is true, but not a mortal one. Indeed, the final vestige does not live, it merely exists. As these words echo over the forgotten sea, the gods vanish together. And I just got an achievement on Steam for refusing all the gifts. So I guess this is probably pretty close to the end here. Probably maybe 3 or 4 more chapters at the most. I already lost count of chapters. I think 8. I don't know. Mendodia. The city rises in the distance, nestled into the side of a mountain. Its buildings are made of timber, like the temple in your old village, but they are as grand as anything you have seen in Kalanos. The gates of this city extend into the very sea. They open as you draw near, and a boat approaches. Its ram-like prow is curved, threatening outward, and men in armor aim their arrows at you from the deck. What is your purpose in Mendodia? Asks one. This port is closed to trade. A plague has befallen my people, you explain. We seek the wisdom of the healers known to dwell here. Then you may pass, but know this, travelers. From the moment you enter Mendodia, you are subject to our laws. As you and your fellow sailors are escorted from the docks into the towering city, the guards herd and jostle you like cattle. You feel more like prisoners here than guests. The citizens come out to watch your arrival, wrapped in their pale chitons and tunics. They lean over the ledges of the palace to catch a glimpse of you. One and all, they look to be in the prime of their lives. There are no gray beards here, no wrinkled faces. So yeah, I mean, I think we can already surmise that the last vestige is the Fountain of Youth, and we're gonna have to choose either to get rid of it or to use it to save. And before there isn't a Fountain of Youth and they just kill the old people? Maybe. You are led to a courtyard that is surrounded by elevated balconies. The Menodian queen emerges from the highest of these and regards your party. Even from this distance, she seems far too young to hold her post, barely 20 by your guess. All voices go silent to hear her speak. Only the faint strum of a lyre from within the palace is heard. Citizens of Kelenos, the queen says, you are welcome in Menodia, but I fear the secrets we hold in this city must remain ours alone. We do not heal from profit, not for charity. Implore the queen to sympathize with our plight. Mock the fearlessness of the Menodians who hide themselves within this gated city. Beseech the queen to take pity on our lack of knowledge. Demand that the Menodians use their power for something other than self-preservation. I guess number one would be the most polite and most polite way to do it, and not be pitiful at the same time. I found Shangri-La. Yeah. Alright, so we'll go with number one. Implore the queen to sympathize with our plight. Pity our dying people. I tried to go with not the pity, but okay, whatever. Pity our dying people, O queen. If you share your secrets with Kelenos, you will save them. If you withhold your knowledge, then we will surely perish. The common folk of Menodia mutter among themselves. You have reached them, but the queen is less enthusiastic. We are not blind to your need, traveler, the queen explains. But any citizen seeking our gifts would need to be brought here to Menodia to receive them. Would you bring all of Kelenos to our shore? That would be impossible. But could you perhaps send some of your magic with us, you ask? We could bring your gift of healing to our people. Upon your speaking these words, a terrifying chord splits the air, like a bolt of lightning being plucked for a string. The queen's eyes narrow. It is as though the sound itself has told her something. Now I see what you are, brigands to come to steal our city's bounty for themselves. Guards, take these thieves to the tide caves, that we may be rid of them this very night. You're just gonna drown us? The Menodian guards are closing in on your unarmed sailors. You know there are too many of them to resist, but perhaps there is hope for escape yet. Beg the people of Menodia to help you, out of respect for the Weaver's plans. Order Kiana to run and hide while the rest of us are taken. Perhaps she can release us later. Convince the citizens that you have 7 more boats of warriors on the way, and that their city will soon fall. Huh. I don't really like any of these options, but I don't know. I feel like these people are not they don't really worship the gods or have anything to do with the gods. One because the others are worse, but one can be bad. I don't think, like, they didn't mention any sign of any temples or gods or statues of gods or anything describing the city, so I feel like they won't give a shit about the Weavers. Hear you out before I decide. Okay. Either right now they are a godly people and one is out of win. Or they are a relic of the old age mentioned by the gods. Alright, alright. I guess we'll go with number one then, since Lobarden also wants it. Assuming they are a first-rate age relic, then the other two options are still bad. True. Well, and 2 is also something we suck at. I don't think that crew. Oh, we still do have the crew attributes actually. Okay. I thought that was just for the old crew. I guess that's we have the same people for the most part, huh? Okay. All right. 1 it is then. You speak to the people as the guards close in. Our presence in Menodia is no accident. The weavers themselves have destined us to come to this place. We must honor their purpose. You and the other sailors are led into the depths of the city and then through an iron door to a cave that already looks to be filling with seawater. Yeah, I don't think they care about the weavers. Oh god, here we go. When the doors close behind you, you are surprised to see that there is still light in the cell. You turn to see a woman in a pale cloak, bearing a lantern and smiling. Like everyone else you have seen in Menodia, she is in her prime, though something in her manner bespeaks the eccentricity of age. Perhaps it is the way her eyes pop in their sockets. They give one the impression that the young woman is perpetually bewildered. I thought I might have company at my execution, she grins, but never so much of it. She reaches out her hand in greeting. I am Chiraxa, and I am pleased to make your acquaintance. However briefly, I take it you have made an enemy of the Queen? We have, you concede, but I am uncertain how. We merely suggested that she send some of Menodia's healing magic to our city to fight a plague that has befallen our people. Chiraxa chuckles. Menodia's power to heal does not derive from knowledge, my friend. We are possessed of a sacred gift, a lyre. All who hear its music are healed of disease and even age. The Queen must have decided that you sought to steal it. Where does it come from? Where is it kept? How long has it been here? We'll go with 1. Actually, where is it kept? Because we already know 1 and 3, basically. We know it's from the first age, and we know it's been here since the first age. Where is this lyre kept? It is held in a garden at the heart of the mountain. Many Menodians live now only because they continue to hear its music, day after day. It was discovered by the fishing folk many centuries ago at the bottom of the sea. You recall the suspicious youthfulness of the Menodian people, and the mysterious chords that you heard in the air beyond the Queen's balcony. But if we knew nothing of this enchanted lyre, you reason, then how could we have planned to take it? You speak words of logic, but the Queen is no longer possessed of logic. She has been subject to the lyre's magic so long that its hold on her mind is all-powerful. Indeed, most Menodians have been under the lyre's control for centuries. Their lives are now given wholly to its protection. The rest of us are prisoners of our own city, until the day we are old enough to fall under the lyre's control. Then we too will join the guard. How is it then that you are free of the lyre's power? And what are you doing in this chamber? What will happen to us if we stay here? One? Alright. I am only 73, and young enough yet to resist its spell. In fact, that is how I came to be in this chamber. I tried to destroy the lyre, while I still could, but I was captured and brought here to drown when the tide next rises. The water level is rising now. It is up to your waist. Chiraxa takes a deep breath and lets it out again slowly. But I suppose there is no point in dwelling on all that now. The accursed lyre will surely outlive us all, if it can even be said to live. Suddenly you recall the words of the gods when they spoke of the final vestige. It does not live, it merely exists. The lyre, you are now certain, is the final fragment of your destiny, the last vestige of the first age. You wonder how we will escape from this chamber, what my life will become when my destiny is fulfilled, what will happen to the Menodians if the lyre is taken away from them. How the hell are we going to escape? Just then there is a groaning noise from the iron door. It swings open to reveal another fresh-faced citizen of Menodia. Nereus! Taraxa cries. You old fool. The two friends embrace. Come, Taraxa, Nereus says, and bring your comrades. Let us save our city and theirs besides. It is time for all of Menodia were made free. You follow Nereus's lead. He points down the left-hand corridor. That way will lead you to the palace, he whispers, and to a supply chamber where you can retrieve weapons. But now I must go and tell the people to be ready. Having equipped yourselves as best you can, you move ahead. In moments you come upon a great hall. Here tree trunk columns shine like polished stone, and oaken walls are stained with the color of wet earth. It would be a charming scene indeed if not for the guards. The garden of the lyre is on the other side of this chamber, Taraxa whispers. We have no choice but to enter. You assess the situation. A decisive attack would be the best way to handle these guards and prevent them from harming your sailors. Yet, can you hurt any of these Menodians with a clear conscience, knowing that their minds are not their own? You order your sailors to make our way through the chamber as quickly as possible while repelling the guards' attacks. Link shields in a line and advance on the guards, cutting them down as we cross their paths. Link past the guards unnoticed like the wind. Well, number one is our evasive option, so we basically have to choose that. You quickly infiltrate the chamber, holding your shields up to repel the immediate response of the guards. Alas, perhaps due to your own influence, your sailors are not quite as merciful as you have ordered them to be. As you make your way across the hall to the other door, many guards fall to their swords. Taraxa emerges with you safely. The violence you have done to her people cannot have gone unnoticed, yet she merely says, "Come this way." You follow. You come to a stone entryway with strange runes carved into it. Beyond lies a field of what looks to be tall grass. One of us will make their way to the lyre, Taraxa explains. The rest of us must hasten to the docks and to retrieve a seaworthy vessel. I will steal the lyre, says Kiana. Licorice should stay with his crew. Taraxa draws near to her to instruct her. The mountainside is open to the sea. You can bring the lyre through to the water, and we will bring the boat to fetch you. But take care, the lyre is guarded by the three fishing folk who first discovered it. Now they call themselves its priests. Their very shapes are under its command. Do you wish me to show them mercy? Asks Kiana. Taraxa shakes her head. It is told they ignored many warnings from the gods when they first brought the lyre to our city. Do with them as you wish. Alright, stats. 55, 84, 50, 86, 70, 73 for physical. What do you mean we're a girl now? Huh? 73% courage, 65% logic. Brutal, integrity, faithful. Did it say she or something? What? I'm trying to see, like, Are you talking about just like where Chiraxa is just instructing Kiana? I don't know. Oh, switch to Kiana right there. I guess we will be. I shall, you say. You nod reassuringly to your companions and begin to make your way into the Garden of Lyre. Fight bravely, Kiana, calls Licorice over your shoulder. Always, my friend. Mind your own battles, Licorice. The Weaver's got my hand, we shall be victorious. Pray, do not vex me, Lieutenant. A general's pride is easily wounded. Nah, we're not doing 3. Kiana has never been Kiana has never been like a real god god fearing person. Remember it said she's never even mentioned the gods ever. She has never mentioned the gods. Yeah, we chose the option where she goes to uh one certain temple, but not the Weavers. I mean, but I guess if you really want it, I don't know. I think sneaking to one temple now and then isn't really being like out front and everything with I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think that's her personality. She's always been like she's always been joking around and like testing us and that kind of thing. She's not like she would not say something like this. She wouldn't say like something like that. Yeah, like Lebarden, I think has the right idea. This is something Kiana would say. I'm just saying this her personality and her character. I just think this is number 3 is not really very fitting. The other ones are all right. We'll go with number 2. The Garden of the Lyre proves a strange place, as verdant as any hilltop, but enclosed almost entirely by the mountain walls. A fallen cliff to the west provides much of the sunlight. You have the sense of being inside and outside at once. You press into the distance, seeking the lyre and thinking of Licorice, this warrior from the west whose destiny has become so entwined with yours. Frankly, you have always found Licorice a fair and just person, a man of uncommon integrity, a great thinker, a brute. I think either 2 or 3, because integrity is one of our highest things too. 78% integrity. Holy crap. Oh wait, these are Kiana stats. Wait, what? Okay, so Kiana is all about the speed. Not very resilient, pretty weak. 78 integrity, haughtiness, 48, faithful, 89. Well, I guess we should have I guess we should have done the Weaver's option. Damn. Passion 70, courage 82. Sign of the Lion. You are defined by passion and confidence. You use these traits in the service of those who fight by your side. Okay. I know, I was just talking about Kiana's stats. And Licorice's integrity was also quite high, if you remember. Actually, I think his integrity was higher than his logic. So, we'll coin flip this one. Heads, integrity, tails, thinker. Yeah. And what have we got? The camera sucks. I should put on like autofocus or something. I think that looks like heads. Is it heads? Yeah. Integrity it is. It probably went down to 89% after what we chose. And she had 100% faith. Yeah, I suppose. You wonder if he suspects the reason why his destiny means so much to you. If you survive this day, you mean to tell him the truth. I really had a feeling Kiana was actually one of like the chosen person too, because she is like ridiculously fast. Near a grove, you notice one of the three so-called priests whom Chiraxa warned you about earlier. You do not see how fighting him will be any kind of challenge. He carries no weapon, wears no armor, merely a woven tunic. He does not even wear sandals on his feet. Is this the best the liar can do? The priest's eyes lock on yours, and as they do, a loud tone echoes in the mountain garden. The sound of the lyre itself, no doubt. Suddenly, the priest's flesh begins to shudder, his muscles rippling like liquid, and his jaw thrusting forward painfully. His skin turns thick and gray like hide. He grows to twice his size, ripping the tunic in two, and becoming something halfway between a man and a bull. Guy's the Hulk? As this monster begins to charge, you realize you must decide upon a strategy. Trick the bull thing into charging a tree, and behead the beast when it gets stuck. Absorb the beast's attack, delivering swift jabs with my sword as it withdraws. Feint as it attacks and drive my sword into its hide. Snap its neck while it gouges me with its horns. I guess 1 or 3 would be the best speed options here. You think 3 Nintendo? Okay, 3. You dodge the attack of the bull thing, but when you attack the creature with your sword, its hide proves tougher than you thought. It attacks again before you can land a decisive blow, and a lengthy battle ensues. Your resilience is such that the attacks it delivers have little effect, but the same cannot be said for the blows the creature receives from your sword. Once dead, the monster returns to human form at your feet. The scuffle has proven trickier than you expected. The only hope Licorice is part of this quest is proceeding with less difficulty. The journey to the docks has turned dark indeed. You and your crew hold your shields up, desperately defending against the rain of arrows that began to fall when you emerged from the city. As you make your way beyond the range of the attack, you trip over twitching corpses of your fellows. The docks come into view now. You see your ship among the fishing trawlers, but a stronger ship will be required if you are to break through the gates that enclose the Minodian port. Then you remember the heavy prow of the warship that rode toward you when you first arrived. If your crew could commandeer one of those sturdy vessels, you could very well ram the barrier. But yeah, alright, we'll look over Licorice's stats again. Yeah, he's 70% integrity too. Crew stats, still evasive and aggressive. You let your eyes seek far and wide for the vessel you need, employing your gifted sight. You notice that the western end of the dock has no warships. Going there would surely result in doom for you and your crew. You order the sailors to follow you to the east instead, but as you advance together, the shipyard begins rising above you in a maze of masts and gangways. Suddenly, a lone guard leaps in your path. "Stop there, intruders," he cries. "Your presence is a threat to our city." From the glazed look in his eyes, you are sure the liar has a firm hold on his mind. Beg him to do the will of our great gods and reveal the location of the warships. Threaten him to get him to tell you the location of the warships. Implore him to let us save his people. Demand that he bow before the champion of the gods and reveal the location of the warships. Thinking 2 or 4. I just want to do 4 because it would be cool, but I don't think any of these options will work anyway. I feel like all 4 of these options are just going to, are not going to give us any location. So we'll just go with number 2 then. Tell us the location of the warships, or I swear it, your blood will flow. The guard is unconvinced by your threats. "I will never tell," he replies. "But you must," Taraxa implores, "or our people will never break free of the liar's control. You know this to be true in your heart." Your new companion's words seem to reach the guard's heart, and you can see the liar's hold on his mind slip. He points ahead sheepishly. "The rightmost dock," he explains, "and the leftmost pathway." You follow the guard's direction and soon come to the Minodian warship, but guards are everywhere around it. Slip unseen onto the boat and pull away. Shove the guards into the water with a unified charge. Lead them in a chase by scattering onto the nearby boats. Advance on them in a head-on confrontation, and let none pass alive. I don't know, we do have some aggression. We could just shove them into the water with a charge. And I don't like the idea of leading them into, yeah, this is evasion, but I don't like the idea of scattering onto the nearby boats. Wouldn't this would just leave our crew all separated. Yeah, the content has had some effect like that. Like when we were in the battle against the Temok, when they had Dagoras's armor, like the strategy and positioning of everything really had an effect on what was going to happen next. But if you want number 3, we'll do it, because it is guaranteed success, at least. Your sailors scatter onto the other boats at the dock in an effort to thin the attack of the Minodian guard. The strategy is a resounding success. Once the Minodians are spread out on the many boats throughout the dock, your sailors flee to the chosen vessel and make off with it. Okay, good. The ship presses onward and successfully rams the gate. "To the far side of the mountain," you order. "Soon it will be time for your rendezvous with Kiana." You wonder how her search for the liar has fared. You spy the lyre on a high rock in the garden, just beyond the trees. You begin running toward it, but a priestess blocks your way from the grove. She grins menacingly in anticipation of the lyre's gifts. Another terrible chord pieces the air. The priestess's skin pulls taut over billowing muscles, her very bones stretching. Her back explodes into feathered wings, while her hands and feet swell into claws. Light hairs spread like shadows across her body. A winged lion stands before you. It paws the ground and fire emerges from its throat in a cloud. Then it takes off, beating its wings to hover just above you. This latest invention of the lyre is something of a puzzle, but you know just how you will fight it. Allow the creature to carry me into the air, where I will escape its grip and kill it. Lead the beast on a chase through the burning treetops to ensnare it in its own flames. Dodge its attacks, and then steal the chance to kill it with a throw of my spear. Leap up and choke the beast to dust, braving its fiery breath. One? Are you serious? We're not that resilient. We're back to Kiana now. Nintendo. Realize that, right? I mean, she is kind of resilient, but I'm pretty sure 2 or 3 would be better options. Mm. 3? Alright, 3. The creature comes for you, swiping at you with its claws. You grab firmly to your spear and let it give chase until the perfect moment, when you turn and hurl the weapon directly at its chest. Alas, the throw only wounds the beast. The lion thing bears down upon you now, belching flames. You brave the pain of the fire, leaping up and cutting the beast's throat with your sword. The beast falls to the earth, its wings vanished, its body human again. You come upon the lyre now. It is a strange sort of instrument, an ornate wooden yew devoid of strings. The device vibrates at your touch when you lift it from the rock, as though the air around it were itself enchanted. But as you turn to leave with the lyre, the last of the 3 priests emerges from the garden to block your path. He knows that you have cost him the lives of his companions. His rage is an annihilating force. The lyre plays another one of its chords, and the priest's limbs sink into his skin, as though his body is devouring itself. The shapeless mass turns green and viscous. It begins to stretch and groan. A terrible gurgling noise emerges from the creature as it takes form. You have no desire to see what the lyre is concocting. Climb the ruined cliff as quickly as you can, scramble over the edge of the mountain, and leap into the water beyond. Ahead, you can see Licorice and his crew rowing away from Menodia's in a warship. You swim toward them. There she is, you cry, spying Kiana in the water near the mountainside. Row faster, she is just ahead. Soon Kiana is being hauled aboard the ship by your sailors. I bear a gift for Kelenos, she grins, and she holds the lyre up, triumphant. But before you can rejoice, something enormous bursts from the water. Nearly half the size of your ship, it has 3 toothy heads on serpentine necks. Its green skin is riddled with needle-like spines. It is a monstrosity unlike any you have yet encountered. The final priest of the lyre, Kiana sighs as though introducing you. The creature's heads roar. Past its mouths, you see pulsating tunnels lined with hooked teeth. Jump down one of the creature's throats and rend it apart from the inside. Climb upon its spiny body and blind its heads one by one. Dodge the beast's attacks and hack its heads with my sword. Scramble over its spiny flesh and trick its snaking heads into entwining each other. Alright, so we either have one or two, basically, because, well, I think one is our best choice for resilience. 3 and 4 are speed, and 2 is strength, so one it is. You leap down one of the beast's yawning throats and begin hacking at it from the inside, but you are not strong enough to fight your way through. Thankfully, you have a loyal crew at the ready, while you are still trapped inside. Fuck, you can hear them bravely tangling with the creature. It begins to turn human again, and its flesh recedes around you. Once the transformation is complete, it is little more than a puddle of gristle. That's awkward. Chiraxa takes the lyre from Kiana. I thought I would never see the day when the accursed thing was in my power. Is there anything we must know about it, you ask her? How will we use it to heal our people? It will heal them on its own, she explains. The lyre cannot help itself. But heed me, Lycoris. After the people of Kelanos are returned to themselves, the lyre must be destroyed, for in time it will make servants of those it saves. But what will happen to you? Kiana asks. How will you fare when you no longer have the lyre's music to keep you young and your people? Chiraxa smiles sadly. Those of us who have lived too long past our destined deaths will decline quickly without the lyre. But so long as Menodia is ours again, I am content to face the consequences, even if my own death should be one of them. You are a brave woman to sacrifice so much for a people you have never known. But how can you bear to know your actions will cause the deaths of so many? We could have never done this without your help. I am glad to aid you in the destruction of this unholy place. I cannot in good conscience destroy the lyre if it might harm your people. I'm considering just going with number 3, just saying thanks for your help, and leave it at that. Yeah, number 3. We could have never have done this without your help. One sec. Okay. It was destiny that we should find each other. The journey home to Kelanos proceeds slowly. We have lost many members of your crew in Menodia, and the ship cannot keep its former speed with so few rowers. The lyre remains silent during the voyage, but when Kelanos first enters your sight, it begins to play. By the time you have pulled into the port, you hear strange sounds in the city. Exultation and laughter carrying down the hill from the palace. When your crew runs into the palace hall, you find the sleeper's eyes open. You run to the chamber of the king, where you find your Nirala alive again at last. She is so thin you hardly recognize her, her hair mere wisps, but the look in her eyes when you take her in your arms proves the world you knew was yours again. And my bravery alone is responsible for its return, and all glory to the weavers for returning it to me, and the bravery of my crew is responsible for its return. And may the gods be cursed for ever taking it away from me. So 2 or 3, we can praise the weavers or give our crew some respect that it probably actually deserves. I say we give props to the crew. Props to the crew. What's up, Siam? 3 days later, the king calls you and Kiana to his throne. He carries the lyre. Our city lost many souls during your long sojourn to Menodia. Few sleepers were left alive by the time of your return, but the last of them is safe now, and I believe they will remain so. This accursed thing must now be destroyed, lest its evil take root here. Kiana is the one who retrieved the lyre from the garden, you say. The honor falls to her. Kiana nods proudly in assent. Let us first bring the lyre to the temple of Sephiel, that I may offer it to our city's patron goddess. So when is Kiana gonna reveal her secret? That night, you and Megrados follow her to the temple of Sephiel, where you have often seen her pray. Once there, she addresses the statue on its throne, and as though it is the goddess in the flesh. I lay this at your feet, Sephiel, she says, a trophy from a greater destiny that has emboldened my own. The champion of the gods has made this glory possible for both of us, and the purpose of my life is here proven. With these words, she smashes the lyre to bits, barely grinding it between her hands. When she places the smashed instrument on the altar, her palms are ragged, and there are drops of her blood on the offering. The moonlight makes them glow. Oh, she's a daughter of the gods. I offer this gift as your servant and as your daughter. Suddenly, you understand. Kiana's many visits to the temple, her fervor for her adopted city, why your destiny was of such importance to her. To a child of the gods, with no great path to match her talents, the chance to become a part of your destiny was a great gift indeed. She looks to you now, her eyes filled with tears. You cannot know what our journeys have meant to me, Licorice. To have power without consequence is a terrible thing. In the days before we met, I feared to die, to think I would leave the world unchanged, a place no better than it was when I first came here. I no longer have that fear now. You regard your proud companion, now that she has revealed her secret. I admire Kiana for all the more for her connection to the divine. I pity her for the burden that the weavers placed upon her by denying her her own destiny. I am proud to have been in some way the cause of joy to her. Go with number 3, and I'm going to take a quick break, and we will, I'm assuming, finish the story pretty soon here. So, be right back. Give me a couple minutes, and we will continue. Alright, I was just thinking of something. Um, you know, it would have been hilarious if we would have chosen the Weavers thing for Kiana. Because, you know, her being a child of the gods, she has no. The Weavers have no control or anything over her. So I wonder what would have happened if we made her say that. Because literally nothing the Weavers do has any effect on her. Which is also the reason we can't choose the second option here. Alright. Okay. I am proud to have been, in some way, the cause of joy to her. Yet you have a single question for her. Why keep your lineage a secret? Being their patron's child, would not the people of Kelanos have admired you? Why did you never seek Sephiel's help? Why did you not tell me the truth? Probably number one here. Maybe two. Number one. Why keep your lineage a secret? Being their patron's child, would not the people of Kelanos have admired you? To become a part of destiny, one must be patient and allow the paths of others to make themselves a part of yours. Admitting to my lineage would have disturbed that purpose. And what will happen now? I am my own woman in the eyes of the people, and ready to be Sephiel's daughter in their eyes as well. In the coming days, as Kelanos takes its first tentative steps toward reclaiming the life it once held, you feel a great weight lifting from your soul. The three vestiges of the first age are gone now, and the seer's prophecy has been fulfilled. Your destiny no longer belongs to you alone. It belongs to the people of Kelanos, even to Kiana. They will share in the future that the Weavers have crafted, building it with you. The god of chaos has failed. Man, just imagine if you chose to go with Digoras. I wonder how completely different the ending of the story would be. And I believe chapter 9, I don't know for sure. Probably the final chapter, the fate of destiny. The people of Kelanos, still recovering from the ravages of Sarpeda's plague, are in much need of reason to celebrate. As they prepare the palace yard for your wedding, there is an air of hope about their work. For your part, I am happy they should share in my happiness. I think it well and good they should celebrate this glorious moment in the city's history. I find weddings to be silly affairs. I am embarrassed by all this attention. I only hope that the Weavers have nothing more in store for the people of Kelanos. I am happy they should share in my happiness. Yeah. As you sup with the court the evening before the event. Is that an actual verb? Like, I guess that's like supper? You eat? Norella dines beside you. She wonders aloud about your plans together after the wedding and decides that she would like to visit your village. It can be no farther from us than the Caval Canyon, she says. It sounds to me such a rugged land. I should very much like to see it someday. But tell me, why did you never send your family to share in your joy? They would surely be proud to learn that you have become a prince of Kelanos. Norella's words remind you that you have never told her the tragic reason you can never return to your village. But tonight is not the time to discuss such things. Instead, you say, I look forward to showing you my homeland. My family will surely receive us with open arms. There is no need to return to that ramshackle camp. It will only embarrass me. I can never return there, my love, but let us not speak of it. This is meant to be a happy time. I don't know. Obviously not number 2. Like, I kind of actually want to, if choosing number 1 means that we actually go back, I would like to actually go back there, even though I know I shouldn't. But yeah, I don't know. I guess number 3 is the most reasonable option. But yeah, because the last part here is obviously a lie. Alright, I can never return there, my love, but let us not speak of it. This is meant to be a happy time. Nirala lets it pass. She knows that you will come to the matter in time. The feast carries on well into the night. Eventually, you and Nirala rise together, indicating the end of the festivities. The guests sigh and disperse, while you and Nirala ready yourselves to return to your separate chambers. You will not see each other again before the ceremony. Yet when you part ways in the plaza, Nirala seems distant. What troubles you, you ask? I have begun to fear that you have surpassed me, she admits. Standing beside a man like you, I am hardly a warrior at all. Our love is such that neither of us is greater than the other. We are as one. I am the greater fighter, but that only proves how the weavers have smiled upon you. Clearly you are drunk on wine to make such a ludicrous statement. It is I who am unworthy of you. So 1 or 4? 1 or 4? Okay, we'll go with 1. The light dawns on the morning of the ceremony. The attendants bring you to Sefil's temple, there to stand beneath the icon. The priest murmurs, circling you with a bowl of fragrant coals, while attendants sprinkle you with hyssop. That done, you repair to your chambers with Megrodas and Kiana, where you are fitted with the ceremonial armor that you will wear during the rite of matrimony. A happy time, Kiana assesses as she tightens your boots. And what of you, Kiana? asks Megrodas, polishing your greaves. Do you someday see yourself in Licorice's place? Some are meant for it, some are not. Perhaps love will be mine someday, if it be the weaver's will. I thought, yeah. I guess the weavers can have an effect on her life by putting other people into her path, but I don't think they can actually directly affect. I thought that's how they explained it. The children of the gods. You exchange a smile with Kiana and think about what your friendship with her has come to mean to you. I feel closer to the gods for knowing one of their own daughters. I am as close to her as I was to my own brother. I have found myself helplessly falling in love with her. Oh shit. Oh god. I would say number 2. Number 2, but since Nintendo wants number 1, I guess we'll flip on it. Alright, so 1 is heads, 2 is tails. Yeah. I think that's heads. I think it's heads. Alright, one it is. One hour later, you stand in the plaza. Your path leads through the crowd of onlookers to the altar beyond. Across the way stands Norella at the end of her own path. Like you, she wears ornate armor, meant only for display, yet her eyes remain as determined as you have ever seen them in battle. The sounds of plaintive horns, someone summons you both to the altar. Slowly you march down your paths, converging on the priest step by step. Then suddenly, the officiant notices something behind you that alarms him. The guests turn away from the ceremony to follow his gaze. You and Norella turn with them, only to find that you are in the presence of the gods of Arcadis. Hetexa is among them, as is Sasonis, but it is Sephiel herself, the goddess of wisdom, who steps forward to speak. Champion. Greetings, Sephiel. I am again called to the service of the god. Am I again called to the service of gods? Greetings from your city, Sephiel. Have you come to bestow a blessing upon our wedding? What business do you have here? My destiny is fulfilled. Our dealings are ended. Alright, 2. Greetings from your city, Sephiel. Have you come to bestow a blessing upon your wedding? Alas, no, champion. We have come here because of a final threat to destiny, and all of Agasa. Alright, so will this actually be another chapter to this book, or is this setting up for a sequel? And how can I be of service? And what is the matter? And why should I help you? How can I be of service? Digoris is in the underworld now. Now that your fate has been fulfilled as prophesied, he must end destiny another way. He plans to kill the weavers with his own hand. You must go there if we are to stop him. When must I leave? You must leave now. Indeed, it may already be too late. If Digoris has already breached the chamber of the weavers, he will be within reach of destiny's very strands. He could end your life, or that of anyone you hold close, simply by cutting one. You feel Norella's hand on your shoulder. You take her hand and turn to her. The celebration of your happiness is over. You whisper. I am your Thai cousin just stopped by and gave you pineapple fried rice. Oh, sounds good. I vow this nightmare will end today. Again, the gods are stealing me away from those who matter most to me. What I must do now, I will do for all of us. Would that these gods shared the fate of the vestiges. 3. What I must do now, I will do for all of us. You walk away from your love, and Kalos takes your hand, carrying you with him into the sky. Fire trails you across the clouds. The underworld opens into Agasa in only one place, through a tunnel dark as blindness itself. On a wide cracked plain, the messenger leaves you off just beside it. Marina, the goddess of death, is already here. Her cloak billows like a willow's shade. Champion, she whispers, you have come. She points to the pit, and a dark chariot with no horses rises into the air from the blackness, to hover beside you. This will take you to the chamber of the weavers at the center of the underworld. Even I cannot follow you there, for the presence of mortal death is a poison to the gods. How will I defeat the god of chaos? How will I make my way to the chamber of the weavers? Have I only been chosen for this mission because you fear your own kingdom? How will I make my way to the chamber of the weavers? The chariot knows the way. And take heart, champion. Unlike Digoris' power, yours will survive the journey. What do you mean? Will Digoris be weakened in some way? The chamber is at the center of the underworld, a place of death. By the time Digoris has reached its threshold, He will have long since been made mortal by death's power. Mortal, you ask, fairly bewildered by the news. You mean to say that I could kill Digoris? A terrible smile spreads across Marina's face. Do so, champion, and you shall be richly rewarded. Marina reaches her hand out, and a dark cloud appears above it, like one of Sarpeda's storm. Within the nothingness you see your father's face. It has been so long since you have seen him that it is as though you are peering into a memory. But as you look longer, you notice that his features are drawn and hollow. This is his soul as it appears in Marina's kingdom. Kill Digoris, and we will release your father, from the underworld. He can return to the life he led before Digoris meddled with your destiny. All can be as it was. Your generosity is overwhelming, Marina. All this time you could have raised my father from the dead. Is my suffering meaningless to the gods? But will it not endanger destiny to do so? But will it not endanger destiny to do so? Yes, it will. To do such a thing while your path was already under attack by Digoris would be mad, but if my brother is killed and his threat removed, the goddess of death points to the chariot. The gods cannot intervene while you are in the chamber of the weavers, for our sight cannot intrude there. You must fight bravely, champion. Go now. Digoris is at the threshold as we speak. The chariot plunges into the darkness. You are soaring across the cavernous underworld, a glowing blue desert littered with weary souls who stagger together across the sand in great crowds. Some of them are as tangible as the living. Others are faint and ghost-like, fading from being. The lost are herded by great bronze men, statues that move of their own accord in halting steps. Seeing them walk reminds you of that strange word Digoris used, machine. The drifting souls mutter to themselves without a pause for breath, such that there is a hum beneath you like the rumble of an earthquake. I dread that I will one day be imprisoned in this place. I remind myself that the souls I see here are merely echoes of the people they were in life. I will have my vengeance on Digoris for consigning my father to this fate. You think 3? Alright. Stats 87, 73, 73. Not much has changed, really. Guess we've become a little bit more passionate than logic. I will have my vengeance on Digoris for consigning my father to this fate. At last your chariot comes to the chamber of the weavers, a tall gray cylinder of stone at the center of the desert. The peculiar conveyance sets you down, and you enter. The ceiling of the chamber is 3 times as high as that of the Oracle's temple, and is built up around a wide pit. A million glistening strands of destiny descend from far above, forming a translucent curtain along its mouth. The weavers sit beneath these strands on the edge of the pit, their faces still as masks. Their bodies are made of bronze, like Marina's walking statues, and they look as heavy and still as boulders. Yet their lithe arms move quickly, drawing the filaments of destiny down and folding them together, before feeding them into the light at the bottom of the pit. You regard this delicate process with surprise. It seems that destiny is more fragile than you thought. You must use all your skill to protect it. You see Digoras now. His mortality is plain. His beard and horns look brittle. His skin is smudged and drawn, like a beggar man's. But his spirit is robust. Lycoris of Onesia, he calls. Again, my siblings have drawn you into their vendetta, but your servitude will end soon enough. With these words, Digoras severs one of the glistening filaments with a curved dagger. A flash of dark energy passes into his body, and he recoils. When the pain has passed, he looks up, hoping to find that you are dead. His face withers further when he sees that you yet live. Do not fear, champion. Your strand will be discovered in time. And how many innocents will fall first? Why do you still seek to destroy me, if your true enemies are the Weavers? Do you truly believe that you can end destiny this way? Why do you still seek to destroy me if your true enemies are the Weavers? Yeah, because couldn't he have just killed the Weavers before I even got here? I will come to the Weavers in time, but I cannot destroy destiny until I've destroyed you. Strangely, it sounds as though he is apologizing for this. Why must I die if the greatness of my destiny is already fulfilled? Because you are the champion. If you still live after I've destroyed the Weavers, the gods will rally around you like never before. They will lavish new powers upon you, making you a symbol of their glory, and you will become the greatest puppet Agasa has yet known. Digoras cuts another strand. Once more a jolt of dark energy, like a flash of shadow, passes into his body. He collapses in agony, and then rests himself up off the floor, again panting. A whisper intrudes your thoughts. Champion, hear us. Hear the voice of the Weavers. With every strand Digoras cuts, destiny draws closer to collapse. But look down and see where those strands have fallen. You look to the floor of the chamber, where you see a sticky black substance oozing forth from the severed strands, forming puddles that hiss as they expand. This is the ichor of death, the voice says. Lead the god of chaos into the ichor, and he will become helpless, for its slightest touch is poison. I attacked Digoras with my sword, forcing him back into the ichor of death. Let Digoras go on cutting strands. He is clearly weakening. I will intervene when he is more drained. Tell Digoras that I too wish to destroy destiny. I attack Digoras with my sword, but back away as he fights, drawing us both into the ichor of death. I don't know, we could, Yeah, I guess number one is pretty much the only safe option overall. I wonder if we did tell him that I wish to destroy Destiny as well, if that would actually, if this is supposed to be like a trick for him, or if that is like actually choosing to want to do that. Alright, number one it is. You raise your sword and make a fierce attack on the god, overwhelming him with the strength and speed of your attack. As he fends you off desperately, he backs unwittingly into the hissing ichor of death. The shadow seems to pass over his body as the waves of poison overcome him. When he finally stumbles out of the ichor again, moving like a very old man, he collapses helplessly to his knees. We didn't get any stats from that. Kill Digoras. Injure Digoras as a warning, but then release him. Let Digoras go. Well, we're supposed to kill him if we want our father back, so. You pierce the god's heart with your sword. His face takes on a look of bewildered surprise. It must be quite an experience for a god to die. From far above you, where the strands of fate descend, there is a great hissing sound and the squeal of metal on metal. You look up to see a great spider lowering itself into the chamber, its body easily the size of Atexa's entire temple. Like Morena's guardians and the weavers themselves, it is made of metal, though its shell is silver, not bronze. Its voice echoes in your mind. We owe you our thanks, champion. You have destroyed Dagoras and saved destiny for all Agasa. All thanks is owed to the weavers for guiding my hand. Your enemies are my enemies. This god is my sacrifice to you. Am I to be rewarded for my service? Sorry, Nintendo. The greed in me. Yes, and curiosity. I, I, I have to know. I have to know what will come if I ask this. Morena will see to that. But tell me, champion, do you yet have questions about your fate? If so, ask them now, and I will answer them, for I am the master weaver. How could I be destined to vanquish the remnants of the First Age, if they were never part of destiny to begin with? How can the weavers dwell in the underworld if this place is poisonous to the gods? Why was I created with the capacity for betrayal? It looks like I should be able to ask all these questions. So, here we go. Don't do it? Don't do what? There must be like some huge delay on the stream today. I think you guys were talking about the last thing with asking about a reward. Alright, let's ask the questions. How could I be destined to vanquish the remnants of the First Age, if they were never part of destiny to begin with? It is true that Cybos, Serpeda, and even the sacred lyre itself once existed entirely apart from destiny, but over the centuries as Cybos and Sarpeda ended the lives of so many mortals, who were destined to live much longer, as the lyre diverted more and more of Menodians from their destined deaths, all three of these remnants fell under our control. They became a part of destiny. How can the weavers dwell in the underworld if this place is poisonous to the gods? We are gods and machines at once. The poison of death cannot hurt that which does not truly live. Okay. Seize this endless talk. I haven't heard enough of the gods prattle to last 12 lifetimes. Why was I created with the capacity for betrayal? It is the price of your own power. We have learned after many centuries that the more control your kind is given over their outer world, the more capable your inner worlds become of corruption. We bestowed your destiny upon you, knowing that it would also create the potential for great evil, but only the potential. Thank you for telling me what I needed to know. You board Morena's chariot, crossing her desolate kingdom, when you emerge into the daylight once more. You see the gods waiting for you on the edge of the crevice. A clear rain falls from the cloudless sky above, and the chariot carries you through it, cleansing the stain of Dagoras' death from your form. Only then are ye brought closer to the gods. You step out to stand at their feet. You have done well, champion, whispers Marina. We felt Dogoras' death in our very blood, and now your reward. You feel a chill at your back and turn to find your father standing behind you. He is pacing in place, staring blindly about, muttering to himself. Will he always be in this state, you ask? Outside of my kingdom, a mortal's touch will revive him in an instant. I offer my gratitude to the gods for their generosity. With this act, let all debts between us now be repaid. Send him back to the underworld. Oh, it doesn't even let me choose that one. I refuse to take favors from the gods. Yeah, it's unpickable. I offer my gratitude to the gods for their generosity. As we are grateful to you for your service, Marina whispers. You reach out your hand and touch your father. In an instant, the world around both of you seems to brighten to a blinding glow. When the light fades, the life has returned to your father's flesh. Do you remember where you have been, you ask, where you have come from? He nods slowly. But how then am I returned to life? By the power of the mighty gods, you reply. Kelos carries you both to your home village, setting you down at the gates. There he stands vigil, awaiting your command. Your father looks... Oh, we went straight to our village? What about go getting our wife and stuff? Your father looks about in plain confusion. His eyes seem yet to stare in the darkness, into the darkness of Marina's kingdom. But tell me, how did it come to happen? He asks you, his voice betraying a weariness beyond his years. Who was it that ended my life? You're about to tell him the truth when the gates burst open. Your brother runs forth, his apprentice's cloak flapping as he approaches. He embraces your father. Father! When I saw you from the watchtower, I doubted my own eyes. Now Paraculus looks to you, and his eyes turn dark. You! How dare you show your face here? Leave us be, you monster. Have you not done enough? Fuck you, Paraculus. But I am the reason for our father's return. When we fought, father was under the sway of the Chaos God. Neither of us is to blame for what happened. I beg your forgiveness for my crime. I only seek your fellowship. I don't know. I feel like 3 is not a bad option. But yeah, let's go with number 2 and not, and hope he can accept that. When we fought, father was under the sway of the Chaos God. To pick other than 2 is no. This is family. We're talking to our brother, Nintendo. You can't just if it were anybody else, I would not like beg forgiveness, of course, but this is family, so 3 is definitely a viable option. I feel like anyone who made their little brother watch as they killed their father would want to have their forgiveness. But I guess I'll still go with number 2. When we fought, father was under the sway of the Chaos God. Neither of us is to blame for what happened. You speak gently for a murderer, he spits. Miraculous draws his weapon and he begin to circle each other. Your poor father, still dazed from his return to Agasa, can only stare on in horror as his son spar. "Stop this!" cries a woman's voice from the gates. You recognize it immediately as your mother's. "Drop these weapons. This is madness." Like cowed children, you do as you're told, leaving your swords in the dirt. Now your mother takes your father's hand in hers. May the gods be praised for this day. She begins to lead him to the gates. But Valuckas cannot return to the village with us, Valuckas cries. He is marked for his crime. Your mother stares hard at her son. And what crime can that be if our father lives? Are you so fond of your anger that you would hide your eyes from a miracle? You make your way through the crowd of gawking villagers to the low clay house where you lived as a child. It is certainly the worse for wear, the cracks in its walls thick and long. Once inside, your mother makes your father lie down and brings him herbs and water. As he sips, she tells the tale of the awful day when Digoras filled his head with the dreams. But she speaks of it as though it is a dream itself, one that passed for good now that he's returned. Whether her gentle words or from her attentions, you can see your father returning to himself little by little. While she continues her work, you report to a meeting of the council in hope of explaining the strange circumstances of your return. Many villagers crowd into the council chambers to hear you talk. You regale the people with the story of how I used my gifts to defeat my enemies and united all Agasa single-handedly. Weave the sad tale of how the weavers wrested me from my village to perform endless feats at their behest. Reveal that I could never have saved Agasa without help of people like them. I guess number 3. Wow, Nintendo, you actually want to go with the cocky option on this one? That's so unlike you. Are you sure? Guess we could use some cockiness. We're only at 21%. Alright. Number 1 it will be. Regale the people with the story of how I used my gifts to defeat my enemies and united all Agasa single-handedly. The villagers are unconvinced by your claims of a solo victory, but they listen politely nonetheless. As your tale draws to a close, you notice a familiar face in the crowd. It is Chiros. He sits beside a woman dressed like him in common garb. The affection between them is unmistakable. I seek them out afterward to congratulate Chiros on his happiness. I ignore them. I nod my acknowledgement to the two from afar and leave it at that. I give Chiros a hateful look to discourage him from speaking to me. You just want to throw eggs at the book? Why? What's wrong, Lobard? You're upset that they brought the father back? You really are still upset that the father thought that the mother might have cheated on him at one point, huh? I don't know. I think I'm gonna go with number 1 on this one, even though you don't like it, Nintendo. I don't want to ignore them or just nod my acknowledgement. Or I don't know. Unless you really don't want to hear from Chiros. I guess we can ignore them. Basically choosing number 1 or number 4 would be or number 2 and number 3 would be completely having them removing any conversation. Alright, you don't want to talk to him? Fair enough. I nod my acknowledgement to the two from afar and leave it at that. You nod and smile to the couple, letting your reacquaintance end there. Your lives are separate now. It is enough to know that the one you once loved is happy. When you return to the house, you discover your father waiting at the door. He looks more alive than he did before, but there's still a darkness in his eyes. The others are asleep, he says. You should rest with them, father. In time, he says. But there is something I must tell you first. Come closer. Oh, come on, it wasn't that rash, though, Bart. He wasn't calling her a slut. He was just confused, is all. You draw near to your father. He places a hand on your shoulder. His grip is firm, but you can feel his fingers trembling. What is the matter? Son, I am forgetting what I saw beyond the veil. With every hour that passes, Morena's kingdom grows dimmer in my view. Is that not for the best, you ask? He shakes his head mournfully. There is a wisdom in facing what awaits us, Valuckas. And if we lose that wisdom, we take our lives for a dream. I, for one, have seen too much to return to life as I knew it before. What? You tell him that. He must learn to forget what he has seen, or go mad. We can help each other to remember, so long as we do not live in fear. We must honor life by living, not by dwelling on the darkness. Let's say number 3 on this one. We must honor life by living, not by dwelling on the darkness. Believe me, father, the sight of Morena's kingdom is not meant for living eyes. If those memories fade from your view, it is because the sorrow of death is too heavy for the mortal soul to bear. Let go of this darkness, and let us be fools together, for all mortals are fools to have lived at all, if in the end they must die. Your father smiles. This is sound advice, he says. The next day your family sees you off at the gate, where the ever-vigilant Kalos still awaits your return. You look at them, each, before you go, your mother, your brother, and your father. Will you not join me for the wedding, you ask them? I am sure that Kalos can transport us to the city somehow. Your mother gently shakes her head. We must remain here. It will take time for your father to return to himself. It is up to us to help him find the way back. You say, I promise that I will return. Think of me, for I know not when I will be back. I fear to leave, for I know not when we will see each other again. Join me in Kelenos one day. I know the king would allow you to live in the palace. You could leave Anesia behind. One or 3? Why don't you want number 1? Why would you not want to? You don't want to return here anytime, Nintendo? Okay. Or you just don't like to make promises? I respect that. Alright, think of me, for I know not when I will be back. It is a time of miracles, Valuckas. I have faith that we will meet again. And so Kalos carries you over the hills and valleys back to your adopted city. He leaves you in the plaza, which is still decorated for your wedding, and flies off. Megados steps out of the shade. He has been waiting for you. Back so soon? He asks. You knew that I would return? Megados grins. The gods promised it to Princess Norala in her dreams last night, lest she should presume you met with tragedy, and here you are. He joined General Kiana and Princess Norala in the king's private chamber. There you tell them about the battle in Morena's kingdom. Gods were right to call upon you, he decrees. This city will be blessed indeed to have you as a king. Glory is my destiny. We must remain watchful. If my travels have taught me anything, it is that peril surrounds us always. I don't think we're that paranoid. I was only grateful for the opportunity to serve our creators. Victory came easily. I merely thought of how much I wanted to see Princess Nirala again. I have never killed a god before. It was an edifying experience. 3 or 4? 4? Okay. Victory came easily. I merely thought of how much I wanted to see Princess Nirala again. But what of the wedding, father? Asks the princess. The king smiles. It will proceed tomorrow, he decrees. And now that Agasa is saved, we will celebrate more than only love. The next day, when Legolas's sun is at its height, the wedding ceremony begins. You stand beside your princess on the dais and join your hands. As the priest of Sephiel guides you through the vows of devotion, you look into Nirala's eyes. You know there is a connection between you. It is deeper than your kinship as warriors, deeper even than love. You are meant to be here with this woman in this moment. It is as though your life before today was a mere prelude. The kiss you share upon the completion of your vows sends the crowd into a spontaneous cheer. You turn together to face them. You can pick out Kiana and Megrados, their arms raised in triumph. You look up at the statues of Sephiel, perched high on their pillars, and think of the gods. Truly you owe them everything you have, including the love of the princess. But in bestowing that upon you, they have granted you true power. Not individual might, but power over many. The kind of power the gods wield themselves. You must prove yourself worthy of it. You take the hand of your princess and descend from the days together into the waiting future. The end. Here it comes. You have reached the end of your pathway. Your final victory rating is 130, certitude rating is 155. You accumulated 35 points of divine intervention. Your final horoscope was sign of the owl. You are ruled by logic and extremely confident. Having all the facts allows you to protect that which you value most, and those you hold dear. Final stats: resilience 87, strength 73, speed 73, 60% brutal, 40% merciful, 71% integrity, 72% humility, 82% faithful. I'm actually surprised I guess I was mostly Nintendo's doing for the faithfulness. If it were me making all the choices myself, would have been a lot more 50-50. Passion 46, logic 54, courage 76. Achievements. You have unlocked 12 out of 27 possible achievements, earning a score of 405 out of a possible 1000. See what the ones we didn't get are. Defend your village against the Temok. I thought we did that. Huh. Earn the patronage of love. Defy love's advice. Receive the silken cord for your loyalty to your patron god. Comprehensively defeat the Menodian priests. I guess the part where I jumped down the thing's throat didn't really give us a comprehensive defeat of them. Defeat the god of chaos without killing him. Join forces with the god of chaos. Cause the collapse of destiny. Willfully destroy destiny with your own hands. Refuse all offers of aid from the gods, including resurrection. Ah. Damn it. Be romantically connected to as many characters as possible. Reject love at every opportunity and finish the game alone. Maintain the trust of the gods despite your betrayal of them. Earn the undying hatred of the gods by openly betraying them. Complete the game with the minimum amount of divine intervention. Damn, I was like 5 points short on that. We can at least assume that since they did in fact get married, they presumably consummated it at some point. Yeah. Yeah, we could assume that. On a scale from 1 to 10, how likely am I to recommend this game to a friend? If I were to rate this game on 1 to 10, I think a 7. I would have liked a bit more character development and stuff like that. Definitely wasn't bad. 7. No thanks. Alright, that's it. That is Champion of the Gods. I think the next one we'll start is Heroes Rise. The Prodigy. Which is a trilogy. There's 3 of those books out already. So, and yeah, that was what, about 8 hours. 8 hours of reading. And also, LeBarton linked me some other choose your own adventures that I will probably check out at some point. Let me bookmark that. Okay. Alright, well, I guess that'll be an early night then, because I don't really want to start a new story right now. So, hope you guys enjoyed that story. Sorry, Nintendo, you didn't get the sex that you wanted to have. Hopefully, in the next game, whatever your goal for the game is, we might be able to meet it. So, we married a princess and we were a logical lovebird god suck up. We should probably do something else next time. Yeah, I'm sure I'll replay this at some point. And we'll fucking destroy Destiny. See what happens. Alright, guys. Well, thanks again for watching and playing along. I thought it was a lot of fun, especially, you know, it really brings in a lot more chat interaction than other games do. So I thought it was all cool. Tomorrow, I don't know. I think tomorrow maybe we'll just start on Fallout 1, or maybe we'll start the next book. I don't know. We'll see. Nah, I'm not gonna stream any StarCraft or anything. I'm gonna call it early. An early night on the stream. Sorry. Peace out, guys. See you tomorrow.